I won't be able to think of nothing.
Yes, just look at me. You don't have to look at that.
Oh, I don't?
You don't have
is this
to.
my good side? My good side. No.
Which one's your good
I
side?
don't know.
Both are your good side. Hi guys, it's me Raymond, and today I have a special guest with me. This is my Grammy.
Hi.
Now, a lot of you have asked about her because I have mentioned her a million times in my videos. I've talked about when I was little, and I used to stay at your house, and that was like my safe place, And I used to play Barbies at her house, and we used to make doll clothes and all sorts of things. So, a lot of you have actually asked me in the past if I would ever do a video with my Grammy, and after much bribing, I finally got her to do it. So she's not nervous at all. She is not the most tech savvy, so she doesn't quite get YouTube and how it all really works, but you're proud of me, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I asked a while back on Instagram when this whole thing was, when I had asked you about it. And a lot of people were asking about there was a lot of questions, but most of them were doll related because, I do a lot of doll videos. So a lot of them were, about what dolls you had as a kid or if you had Barbies, but...
Barbies weren't invented.
No. Not to give away her age. I mean, she looks ageless, right? But Barbies weren't around when you were a kid. No. So, what kinds of things did you have?
We had a doll, and she had pigtails, and then we had a wig that we could put on her when that one wore out.
Like a baby doll, or?
She was probably like 12 inches tall.
Okay.
And she had outfits.
Yeah.
And then we had just regular baby dolls, but no Barbie dolls, no boy dolls.
We have paper dolls, right?
We had paper dolls, but we cut them out of the catalog because there was no paper dolls that we had. And then we made our own furniture out of Kleenex boxes. Then we put a string on the floor and we made our houses with the different rooms. And when we was done playing with them, we put them out underneath the couch in the living room because we had no toy boxes.
Yeah.
And we really didn't have a lot of toys.
Yeah.
But we made do with
you
what
appreciated
we had.
what you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made your own fun back in those days. You didn't have your phones to be on,
No, and we didn't have none of this internet toys.
No. Yeah.
Toys
weren't even really plastic then, a lot of them. A lot of them were metal.
We went outside and we played Red Rover, and when we did the ball, we put it over the line over the wires out in the road. Hopscotch.
Jump rope.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of toys. We played Cowboy and Indians, Doctor and Nurse.
Yeah.
And when we went sleigh riding, we just took a box and went down the hill on a box. And later on, we had a wooden sled. And I still have that sled.
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, she didn't have Barbies. Barbie came along, when you were graduating high school, pretty much. It was around when you got married and everything.
And I didn't wish to play with them then.
No. No, but my mom had Barbies. So I have several of my mom's Barbies. I think I've talked about that in past videos and stuff. So, I mean, that's really, and one of the people also asked what it was like growing up when you were a kid, like in the 50s, but really you just kind of said that.
Yes. And I have a twin sister and an older sister. And we always played together, and we really didn't fight that much.
Sure they didn't.
No, we didn't. We really didn't.
No. The thing with our family is, we're really a close-knit family, and I want to, it's largely because of you guys have always kept us, sort of close. We always have had, you always organized Christmas stuff and all this stuff, and we sort of carried that on through the generations, I think, a little more. Yeah, we still get together, all my cousins, and we try to get together and hang out and stuff.
My dad always said, family and your health is everything.
That's true.
That nothing should come between your family.
Yeah, I believe that. That's a lot of what my values are. I try to maintain a close relationship with my family. So I also wanted to talk about when I was a kid and just Layla Winston. I don't know if does she need it in here though?
She might.
She just wants
to come
in the video. You're crazy. All right, so I wanted to talk about when I was a kid and growing up and all that, because like I said, when I was at her house, it was kind of like my safe place. It was where I would go and I could be myself. And we did a lot of really like fun, creative things that I don't know, that I remember. So talk about that a little bit. What did we used to do together?
Well, we used to go out in the woods. And
you're starting with this.
Yes, and when you was what? Probably 3.
Mm-hmm.
We was in the woods, and I got my jacket caught on a barbed wire fence. And I couldn't get it off. And he said to me, well, why don't you just take your jacket off, Grammy? I never saw that. And here a 3 or 4-year-old boy was telling me. And then we used to play Barbies.
Of course. We made clothes we'd raid your socks.
Yeah, he'd make clothes out of socks and tissue ball.
Yeah.
Like I did.
I did a lot of different stuff. Yeah. She definitely passed that on to me. And see, we used to play with paper dolls too. There was actually they were paper dolls that somebody had bought, you know, but we used to do the thing with the yarn and make houses, and we'd cut out pieces from different catalogs and give them food and all sorts of stuff. We used to do all that.
And then if I was busy once in a while, his pappy would play Barbie dolls.
Yeah. Sometimes. And I could convince him to build me stuff because he was really handy guy, and he would build he built me a runway one time. We built a swing out of a pop box or something, or soda. Sorry, I'm from Ohio. That's what we say. We say pop. So,
and we knew when he was 2, he was very special.
Yeah.
And I had no problem with that. Never did. Still don't. And I felt he should be who he wants to be.
Yeah.
So we would have some good talks about all that, didn't we?
Yeah, when I was little, I opened up to her about a lot of stuff when I was really, really young. She was the person I would go to for everything. My parents were very much in denial. I'm their only son, and it was hard for them. So I would talk to her about it. And I remember being I don't know, 2nd grade or something. I think you asked me straight up if I liked boys, and I didn't know what to say, because it's do I? I mean, I was so young, but it was I knew even then that there was something different about me. So yeah, my Grammy was always somebody I could.
And I always felt they were born that way, and there's no way you can change them.
Yeah.
And I was not going to love him because he's my grandson, and I'm going to be there for him, love him. And I still feel that way. I just want him to be happy.
I love you.
I love you.
And that's how I feel about her too.
And he writes me letters every once in a while. I keep every one of them. So when I send him a card, I write some nice things to him.
She does. Oh my gosh, she wrote me this one last Christmas and I cried. I keep all of them too. I've kept every card from the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So.
and my sisters, they love him for who he is.
Her twin sister lives right next door, so we would always go up, and she's just like another grandma almost, It was going up there, and we'd do all the same sorts of things. And I trusted her, just as much. I feel like I could always be myself with them. When I was little, because my sisters are so much older than me, I was out at her house a lot by myself. I didn't have to share her. I have a lot of sisters and cousins, but they were all 10 years older. I was an accident. So I came along later in life, and I got them to myself.
So you got all the glory by yourself.
I did. I got it all to myself. Yeah. And we used to talk. I mean, they would talk about their relationship problems when I was little, and I'd get all of that, and you guys would just talk about, different things, and I just felt like I was one of the girls. I really did.
And then we used to watch horror movies.
Oh God, yes.
He would come out on Friday the 13th, and we would turn the lights down. Do we have popcorn?
Oh, a lot of the time. My pappy makes this really great popcorn. I'd make him make some.
Well, Pappy didn't.
Or salt and vinegar potato chips. Those were.
Well, Pappy didn't like horror movies, so he got up and went in the other room. But we did that a lot.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, we still do it sometimes.
We still do. I'm 20. I made a promise to you when I was little, and I've largely kept that promise. Is that doesn't matter what age I am, I'll always still come out and stay at your house when I can. And I know, and I made that promise when I was little, and I stuck to it. Because it's so important to me to do that.
Yeah.
With you. And it's our special time,
And when he, dated, I felt, hey, the girls can date, why can't he?
Yeah.
And they kiss their boyfriend, so why can't he kiss now and then? To me, you had to be equal.
Yeah, of course. And that's what's amazing about you is that, you come from an entirely different generation when this sort of thing was swept under the rug. And she's never had, I'm telling you, this woman was a champion for me when I was a child. She was trying to talk to my parents about stuff, and she talked to me about it. She wanted me to feel like I was just the same. There was never a question of, it broke your heart when I couldn't play with dolls. Because
for 2 years.
Yeah.
His dad said no dolls, so I put him up. And he wasn't the same. He would play with the cars, but not that twinkle in your eye.
No.
Once you could play with those dolls again, he was like a different person.
I know, it's back to myself.
And he says, well, that's not fair. Why did the other grandkids get to choose what they wanted and I can't? I says, that's just the way the world is. It's not fair, but that's just how it is. And we had to go by what his parents said.
And I've been determined ever since to change that, how the world is. And I feel like
I think it has changed.
That's what's amazing, yeah. Is I see a lot of kids in the stores going to what toys they like. So, and I see little boys carrying around dolls, and it makes me want to cry because I feel like, we've come so far in such a short time. I was a kid not that long ago. So to see that and to see that, the world is changing and people are allowed to do what they, love, then...
But there's always going to be somebody out there that's
of course,
not like it.
Sadly, yeah.
That's the only thing worried me.
I know. Sadly, that's a factor of life, but I would any day choose to be how I am than to not. And that's how I've even felt since I was a kid. People used to make fun of me. How many times did I come to you crying about so-and-so making fun of me at school or whatever? So, but I still played with dolls.
That one time, that guy, when you were in second grade, and that guy called you names, and you said you turned around and kicked him. And I said to him, good for you.
Good influence.
That's not a nice thing to say, but that's how I felt.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You don't remember that?
Sorry. No, I don't. I really don't remember.
Yeah.
That's been a long time ago. I've had a lot happen to me that's been worse since then.
Well, yeah, that's
the least of my worries. But that's when bullying really picked up for me. I feel like it was second, third grade.
And then when you was in junior high.
Oh, God, that was the worst. That was the worst. Yeah, I don't know.
And you kind of rebelled.
I did.
And dressed
Yes.
to make you stand out more.
I know. Because I was like, you know what? If it's going to happen anyway, then I might as well just do what I want to do.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you're young anyway, you have this rebellion in you, I think, in some ways.
Oh, I was always shy in school.
You wouldn't even know it. She's acting a little shy here because she's nervous in front of the camera. But, I'm just like her.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. I'll talk to anybody that'll listen.
Me too.
Sometimes, I remember when we used to go to, IGA, right, that store. We used to stop there on the way to her house when I'd stay the night. And sometimes we would get, snacks and rent a video and that sort of thing. And I remember you would talk to people and like checking you out, and we would just have a nice conversation. I'm 6, 7 years old. And I would ask you after, how did you know them? And she's like, oh, I didn't. And I do the same thing. I literally do the same thing. Because it doesn't take anything to be kind. And that's what you taught me. She taught me to be nice to people. Even when you don't know them, you can just be nice to them. You really instilled that on me as a kid. And, to treat others how you would want to be treated.
Yeah, Pappy told me if I was the greeter at Walmart, they wouldn't sell nothing. What you told me one day.
It's true, though.
And he don't talk a lot, so I said, well, they would, they sell a lot if he was the greeter.
Yeah. He'd be doing a Sudoku or something, and they walk by. I mean, that's just something that you really. I'm like that anyway. I'm very outgoing, but you really
always was that.
I know. Gosh, we used to make horror movies. I used to want to make horror movies, and so we'd get out their camcorder and we would make all these movies, and I'll have to put them on here someday. Oh my gosh, we would watch scary movies, and then we would make some like ourselves, and I'd bring like my Halloween masks, and we would run around in the basement, and I was pretending like that I was in like Halloween 2, and I don't know.
Well, I'd be down on the floor too.
We were laughing the whole time, and Pappy's laughing and shaking the camera because he's laughing so hard. We had so much fun though. But oh my gosh, we always did. You really let me just do all these things. Well, really embrace my creativity.
Sometimes you got to do things. You don't want it to be dull all the time.
Yeah, we had fun. Yeah. We had so much fun all the time. And okay, should we even talk about this? He's up, zoom it up.
Why not?
Should we?
That was for you.
So this is really okay. Disclaimer time. This I feel now in retrospect is kind of bizarre. Okay, but my grandparents live really far out in the woods, and they live by this really like old, decrepit graveyard, and it looks like nobody has been there in like centuries. Like it's so old. It's from like the 1800s. So it's super old. So half of the gravestones don't even have names anymore on them. They're just that old.
Knocked over.
Yeah, it's just really in poor condition. And it's right behind somebody's house. Two poor people. But so we would walk there, and we would have picnics in the graveyard, and we would sit on one of the tombstones. Oh, I just feel in retrospect that this is a little disrespectful, but that's what we did.
But we didn't feel that way.
No, I mean, we
kind of felt like we honored her because we were
hanging out with her. Yeah, I mean, it was like the place. These people had probably forgotten all about these people, and we were embracing them. I mean, he's up, zoom it up. Was this woman's name? And it's like her grave was really like it was a really nice grave. Like clearly somebody loved her. She was somebody, and but yeah, we would always sit there and eat with all of these tombstones around. There are pictures. Maybe I'll insert one or something. Yeah, I mean, we did. I always felt
comfortable
and sad for these people, even as a kid. Like that there was nobody there for them. I don't know.
Probably no one's visited her for years.
I know. It had to be because she's been gone for like over 100 years. So yeah, it was. We used to do that all the time. All the time.
That was your thing.
That was my thing. I've always been weird. Like you guys needed a reminder, but I've just always been weird.
So I had to play along.
Whatever. She's weird too. Don't be fooled. Play along. There's this really funny picture. I'm gonna insert it because it's really funny, but it's me and her and my pappy, and we're sitting there, and me and you are just like all smiles. We're like this, and my pappy is just sitting there like I can't believe I'm with these people.
He probably could.
I know. He still probably feels that way.
He does.
Are there any other like funny memories you can think of that you want to share?
Hey, I'm doing good to remember what I did.
See, it's not as bad as you thought, right?
Yeah.
She's nervous.
I generally take the pictures. I'm not in them.
Yeah, well.
I only got how many albums? 64, 65?
Oh God, I don't know. A lot. Too many.
That's what we did today. How many pictures? 150?
Yeah, we developed. I send pictures in for her through CPS so that she gets her pictures developed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of places don't. It's just easier to do it that way now. So, but that's what we did, and I was like, well, "Let's do our video. Come on."
I said, "Oh, let's make it another day."
It's not a big deal, though. It's fun. We're having fun. So, looking at me from when I was a kid and all the things I went through, and looking at me now, like, what do you think? What's your thing that you think, about my evolution? Of me being that kid that, was bullied and...
Well, you've toned it down. You're not...
I'm grown up now.
Yeah, you don't have the hostility like you did.
Yeah. Because I'm not as bitter. I was really...
Yeah.
When I was a kid and I went through all the things I went through, when I finally became a teenager, I was mad. I was mad at the way I was treated. And I was just lashing out, I think.
Yeah.
I wanted attention, and I wanted people to respect me. And I realize, obviously, now that that's not the way that you get respect.
You had a chip on your shoulder more.
I did. Oh, I did. But, I still, feel a lot of ways, but there's no reason to go through life like that. When you give out, I feel like when you give out positivity, you get it back. And doing this, talking to you guys, like a lot of you watch my videos, a lot of you are really sweet people, and you'd say that I'm your favorite YouTuber and all that. Like, I can't even believe that. Like, that is over my head. I can't even believe that. So the fact that some of you relate to me, and it really humbles me and makes me feel like all of the things that I've gone through in my life have been for something, because I bring joy to other people. And I just want to say that really means a lot to me. And it really, like I said, validates everything that I've been through. So, yeah. But you've watched me grow up and become something amazing.
You watch me get older.
Whatever, you get younger by the day.
Yeah.
I hope I age like this woman.
My husband tells me when the grandkids or great-grandkids is around, I think I'm 8.
She does. I'm serious. She still gets on the floor and plays with my nieces, and I can't even...
Did we dare tell them how old I am?
She's 53. I know, you wouldn't even believe it, but
yeah, I wish.
She is.
76.
You're only as young as you feel, though.
That's true.
Right?
Some days I feel younger, some days older.
You should wear that shirt that, what does it say?
I forget, I wore it the other day.
Yeah, the age.
Something about being age. I don't act my age.
I don't know how to act at my age. I've never been this age before.
I should have put that one.
It's these sassy shirts.
Oh, yeah. I'd hate to tell you how many of them I got. I just like those.
She looks fancy in them, though. They're nice.
Okay.
But, so, is there anything that you'd like to say to the people watching?
Well, we really love him, and he's the best for him.
What about them, though? Do you thank you for watching? And
yes, thank you for watching him, and
embracing my weirdness.
Yes, I had to, so you might as well.
You didn't have a choice, though.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for doing this with me. But I just want to say thank you guys again for watching, and thank you, Grammy, for doing this with me.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day, you guys. I love you. Mwah! Bye.